Welcome back to Recap Room, where we break down the best movies in minutes. At one of South Korea's most elite high schools, where only the top 1% study, Han Ji-woo struggles to belong. Back at his old school, he was the smartest student, but here, surrounded by geniuses, he's fallen near the bottom of the rankings, especially in math, the most crucial subject for college admissions. Most of his classmates come from wealthy families. They can afford private tutors and expensive academies, but Ji-woo is a welfare student and he has none of those advantages. His math teacher, Mr. Kim Gun-ho, bluntly tells him his grades aren't good enough for a prestigious university and suggests he transfer out. One night, Ji-woo's roommates give him money to sneak out and buy snacks and alcohol, but on his way back, he's caught by the strict night guard, Lee Hak-sung. The next morning, Mr. Kim pressures Ji-woo to reveal who else was involved, but Ji-woo stays silent out of loyalty. This earns him respect from one classmate, Park Bo-ram, but also gets him temporarily kicked out of the dorms. His roommates try to repay him, but Ji-woo refuses, because to him, friendship isn't something you buy. The students complain that sneaking food in has become impossible ever since Hak-sung started working there. They mock him as the commie officer since he's a North Korean defector. Later, Hak-sung visits his doctor, who warns him that working nights and relying on sleeping pills is damaging his health. Hak-sung admits it's the only job he can get. Back home, he lives a lonely routine, feeding his turtle, drinking strawberry milk, and solving Sudoku puzzles. Soon after, Ji-woo is officially removed from the dorms. Bo-ram mocks him, saying she thought he might be more than a loser. But she was wrong. Ji-woo returns home, quietly cleaning the apartment before his hardworking widowed mother comes back. She's proud to see her son in such a prestigious uniform. Unable to tell her the truth, Ji-woo pretends he's only visiting. On his way back to school, it begins to rain. He hides in an abandoned lab, but Hak-sung finds him. Hearing that Ji-woo has nowhere to stay, the guard reluctantly lets him rest in his office. While Ji-woo sleeps, Hak-sung notices the difficult math homework Ji-woo couldn't finish. The next morning, he kicks Ji-woo out, but later in class, Ji-woo is stunned. His homework is completed perfectly. Bo-ram notices too, but Ji-woo begs her to stay quiet. Ji-woo rushes back to thank Hak-sung and asks him to teach him. Hak-sung refuses, but Ji-woo soon realizes something shocking. Even professional tutors struggle with those problems. Hak-sung isn't ordinary. Ji-woo begins following him everywhere, begging for tutoring. Hak-sung ignores him, until one day he overhears teachers gossiping about welfare students, calling them hopeless. Even Mr. Kim includes Ji-woo in the list. That's when Hak-sung finally snaps. He tells Ji-woo that self-pity will only trap him in tragedy. Ji-woo admits how unfair it feels watching others succeed simply because they have money. Hak-sung finally agrees to tutor him, in exchange for just one thing: strawberry milk. Hak-sung secretly sets up lessons inside the abandoned lab. He gives Ji-woo 3 strict rules. 1. No one can know. 2. No personal questions, only math. 3. No talk about grades or exams. Ji-woo agrees. The first problem seems simple: finding the area of a triangle. Ji-woo solves it instantly, but Hak-sung draws a full circle around it and says he's wrong. His lesson is clear. Math isn't just about answers, it's about understanding the question itself. That moment sparks a memory for Hak-sung of his youth, academic glory, and the concept of epsilon, something small but meaningful. Since Ji-woo still has nowhere to go, Hak-sung lets him stay the night. Ji-woo discovers Hak-sung loves classical music. When Ji-woo plays the music through his phone, Hak-sung is amazed by the sound quality and sleeps peacefully for the first time in years. Soon Mr. Kim announces something huge. Instead of finals, the class will compete in the prestigious Pythagoras math competition, which will count as their exam. Everyone panics. Ji-woo, however, trains daily with Hak-sung. Bo-ram starts noticing his constant strawberry milk purchases. One night, Ji-woo struggles with an impossible problem. Hak-sung forces him to calculate manually for hours. When Ji-woo finally succeeds, Hak-sung tells him about mathematician Bernhard Riemann, who calculated decimals by hand to truly understand math. Hak-sung refuses to confirm if Ji-woo is right, because discovering that is the job of a mathematician. Weeks pass, and Ji-woo improves dramatically, but then he receives crushing news. A fellow welfare student has transferred back, saying the struggle wasn't worth it. Ji-woo begins questioning everything. Bo-ram tries to comfort him, but he lashes out, saying she'll never understand. She's still rich. Later, Bo-ram's mother scolds her for associating with welfare kids, and even reveals she's hired Mr. Kim illegally as Bo-Ram's private tutor. Hak-sung encourages Ji-woo not to quit. He says success isn't about intelligence, it's about courage to endure. Eventually, Ji-woo returns to the dorms. Bo-Ram apologizes with strawberry milk and secretly follows him, discovering the abandoned lab tutoring sessions. She thanks Hak-sung and asks to join. Hak-sung agrees, as long as she stays silent. One day, Ji-woo corrects Mr. Kim's math solution in class. Mr. Kim scolds him. Being right doesn't matter. Only giving the expected answer matters. Ji-woo refuses that mindset. Then comes the competition. Ji-woo performs brilliantly. Bo-Ram begins well, using music tricks Hak-sung taught her. But pressure overwhelms her, and she storms out mid-exam. Her mother hides her in shame. That night, Hak-sung and Ji-woo attend a classical concert using tickets Bo-Ram provided. She never shows. Hak-sung is moved to tears by the music. Suddenly, chaos erupts. The competition test is leaked online. Teachers scramble to find the culprit. Mr. Kim reviews security footage and finds Ji-woo printing papers from the computer lab. He accuses Ji-woo and offers a deal: transfer quietly or be publicly blamed. Rumors spread everywhere. Bo-Ram is furious. Meanwhile, Hak-sung's past resurfaces. News reports reveal he is a famous North Korean mathematician who may have solved the Riemann hypothesis. Ji-woo confronts him. Hak-sung explodes, demanding he never mention it again. We learn Hak-sung's research cost him everything, including his son's life. Ji-woo, feeling trapped, forges his mother's stamp and submits transfer papers. Hak-sung disappears. At the Pythagoras Awards ceremony, Ji-woo tries to leave, but Bo-Ram drags him inside. Professor Oh speaks about the famous proven theory. And suddenly, Hak-sung interrupts. He presents his pen as proof of identity and takes the stage. He confesses he was Ji-woo's tutor, and Ji-woo did not leak the test. Then he exposes the real culprit, Mr. Kim, who leaked the exam to his private students. Mr. Kim storms out in disgrace. Hak-sung finally tells his truth. He defected to escape a government using his math for weapons, but his obsession cost his son's life. Ji-woo's loyalty saved him. Hak-sung breaks down, apologizing and thanking him. Later, Hak-sung's friend Gi Cheol gives him a legal passport and tickets to disappear for a while. He risks everything to protect him. Sometime later, Ji-woo receives Hak-sung's final gift, the famous pen and the first draft of his thesis. 3 years later, Ji-woo visits the Oberwolfach Institute for Mathematics with his college class. Hak-sung works there now. Ji-woo surprises him with strawberry milk and a hug. The two reunite, ready to talk about math together again.